Plymouth. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for coming together. Thank you for standing up for our democracy, whether you voted Remain, you voted Leave, or you didn't vote. Because our democracy is imperfect. Our politics is rubbish. But our democracy is the only democracy that we have. And when we let it go, it's gone. You are all here today for different reasons. There'll be some people here today because they want to stop Brexit. There'll be other people here today because they voted to take back control, and that means having it in a parliament that sits. There'll be other people here today because they are angry about austerity. There's other people here today because they want action on the climate crisis, and they know they don't get that when Parliament's not sitting. Whatever your reason for being here today, we need to remember that, because in the weeks ahead, we will be told that disbanding Parliament, suspending it, proroguing it, a word that many of us never really knew until only a few days ago, is normal. That this is just the normal way of business. We are told about that by government ministers who only a few months ago were saying it would be an attack on our democracy, a betrayal of what the D-Day soldiers fought for. We were told that it would be a political and constitutional crisis, and yet today we're told it's all the same. Nothing to worry about. Well, do you know what? It is something to worry about. We should be concerned. You are right to be here. You are right to be angry, and we will not be going away. We will not have our voices silenced by the right-wing media or by rich government ministers who will be okay under any circumstances. We are here and we are staying. Now I want to thank all the political parties who have spoken today. Cross-party working is important. It is more important than ever before that people put aside their political differences and come together to defend our politics, our democracy. And that's why I want to say thank you to Seema from the Lib Dems. Thank you to Ian from the Greens. Thank you to the people from the Conservatives who are here but have chosen not to stand. Thank you for all turning up to defend our democracy. Thank you. Our democracy matters. And as an MP, I sit in Parliament and I sit on the opposition benches, normally in the same spot every day, and I look out on a sea of white, middle-class, straight men, and I think, this doesn't look like Plymouth. No. This doesn't look like the society we represent. We need our Parliament to be more fairer, more democratic, more representative of the communities it serves. We need more women in Parliament. We need more ethnic minorities. We need more disabled people. And perhaps in special reference to Anne Widdecombe, yes, we need more gay people as well. Because it is our diversity that makes us strong as a country. It is our diversity that makes us strong as a city. Now, be you on the left of politics, on the right of politics, the top of the bottom of it, it doesn't matter. Our democracy is something that we as a country have been proud of for centuries. And this is not normal, what's happening now. If you look at the front pages of papers right around the world, they are saying, what's going on in Britain? They're looking at us like, are you okay? Yeah. You seem to be having a bit of a funny turn. Is everything all right? And the answer is no, it's not all right. This is not normal, and we will make a stand for it. Because there are people who can't be with us here today who wanted to stand in solidarity with me, with the speakers, with all of you. There are people who voted Remain and voted Leave who want to see a democracy that is better than we have today. And I do as well. And that's not just because of Brexit. That's because of the NHS and austerity and universal credit. But it's also because what happens here in Plymouth needs to have a voice. Now, some of you will know that over the past couple of weeks, I've been raising the case of Vanessa George in Parliament. Yeah. That cruel paedophile that abused children in our city. The pressure that I put on the government there to raise that as an issue could not happen if Parliament wasn't sitting. Our issues matter. It's not just Brexit. It's not just Brexit. What happens in our city, in our politics, in our country needs to be raised and debated and discussed and scrutinised. And if Parliament is not sitting, there is no place for that to happen. Our voices as MPs don't get listened to, and that means I can't articulate your concerns as the people I represent. We need to defend our democracy. All right. There are a lot of people in this audience with grey hair, myself included, increasingly. But do you know what? There are also a lot of young people here today as well. And to all those young people, I want to say that you are very welcome, because you will remember this protest, or you'll be told about it, that you were here by your parents. And you'll be told that you were on a protest to defend democracy, to defend something bigger than you, your parents, our city, to defend something that matters, that people have literally died for to win. Now, all those people who are here today, be they young or old, be they from Plymouth, Devon, Cornwall or further afield, we are all here today to defend our democracy. Now, Parliament changes, the MPs change. I represent a marginal seat. From 6 weeks' time, at any one point, I could lose my job, and we could have someone else representing this seat. That is democracy. That is the risk you take when you put yourself up for public office. And that means you have to make every single day count. And I want every single day now to be not only about standing up for Plymouth, it's about getting us our fair share, but to stand up to fight for that democracy, to fight for the rights of those people who are doing their counter arguments here today to elect whoever they want. Whoever you want, whoever we all want, because if we don't have the right to elect who governs us, to scrutinise their work, to hold them to account, we are not living in a democracy anymore. And we are living in a democracy, and the people must take back control from Boris Johnson. There's a few final things I just want to say before we finish today. And I want to say thank you to all the people who have made placards for today. There are some that I want to read out, but not sure I should. There are some that articulate the hopes and the dreams, but there are many that show the fear, the genuine concern and the anger of people. Those placards must not just sit in your cupboard. They must go in your windows. They must go in the letters page of the Herald. They must go to every single member of Parliament. We must make sure that this is not just a one-shot wonder, that this is a movement that has come together with Remainers and Leavers, people who vote, people who don't vote, Labour, Lib Dems, Tories. My word, there's even Brexit Party supporters defending our democracy here today, because this matters. You matter. Our voice matters. So don't give up, don't stop, keep your pressure on. We need to do this. Thank you to PL1 Events for putting on our sound system today. We all would have lost our voices if it weren't for them and their little stage here. Thank you also to the police who are looking after us and keeping us all safe at these very difficult times here today. I echo what Sarah says. The West End Carnival down there is wonderful. I was salsa dancing before we got here in what makes a very bizarre day for me. But do you know what? Each and every one of you is strong and powerful. And sometimes it feels that these issues are so big that we can't on our own do something about it, doesn't it? You get a sense of helplessness. I feel that as well some days. I feel some days that actually it doesn't make a difference. But do you know what makes a difference? Is when those people who have a concern come together, where those people who are worried about it share that worry, where we club together, when we band together, when we realise that we are stronger together than we are alone. That is what the movement that has started because of Boris Johnson's about. And it's not a Labour Party movement, it's not a Lib Dem movement, it's not a Green movement, it's not a Remain movement or a Leave movement. It is a British movement, proud of our democracy, wanting to make it better and reform it, yes, but make sure it happens. Make sure that Parliament sits, because I don't want a conference recess. And I hope that I'll be given an opportunity in the next week to go back to Parliament, to vote to keep the doors of Parliament open, to keep us sitting, to keep the government accountable. And in that Parliament, there are MPs like me that have concerns about what the government's doing, and there are MPs in that Parliament that justify and explain what the government's doing. And do you know what? Both of them are welcome in our democracy, because debate and discussion is good. Having strong views is good, but if you've got strong views, you have to be a strong listener as well. And that's what we need to have in our democracy. We need to have the power of debate. We need to have ideas that challenge and are scrutinised and tested. And we can't do that if Parliament is not sitting. So let's keep the pressure on. Let's make sure that that broken politics that we all want to change is protected in the fact that we can change it. We today are changing our politics. We are making it better. So each and every one of you, young or old, from Plymouth, Devon and Cornwall, Remainers or Leavers, Labour, Tories, Lib Dems, Greens or non-aligned, keep fighting to defend our democracy, keep fighting to defend it from Boris Johnson, keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting, and let's defend our democracy. Thank you for coming today. Thank you. Thank you.